Friends, happy Thursday. Oh my gosh, it's been a day. I am coming at you from my PJs at not even 4 in the afternoon, and I'm not sad about it, okay? It's been a day. Anyway, so I wanted to get on here and I wanted to tell you about Connor and give you a little update. He's eating right now, having a little snack. Anyway, okay, so we went to the pediatrician for a follow-up. Children's Hospital wanted us to go back to the pediatrician for a follow-up. I'm really bad about things like that. I'm not going to dog anybody out. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm really bad about things like that when it comes to our pediatrician. I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, so I was like, oh, Children's Hospital called to check on him, which I thought was amazing. And I was like, oh, we haven't been. You know, they asked about the follow-up. Well, how was this follow-up? And I was like, oh, we haven't been. Anyway, we went for the follow-up. Again, not going to dog anybody, so not going to get too deep into it. But they did listen to Connor, and he does sound kind of wheezy on the left, in the left lung, on the left side. So that was sad to hear because I thought we were getting better. I thought we were all good. The cough's still really bad, but I really thought we were coming to the end of this. So when you hear that and when the doctor tells you we're not out of the woods yet, you're nervous. So I'm nervous. I got his progress report today from school, and he has missed 6 days of school. Obviously, I knew this, but just to see it in writing, that's a lot of days of school. And you know, something like that normally happens when he's hospitalized or something like that, but we haven't even been hospitalized, so it's just like, it's just a lot of days of school. So I'm really nervous. Obviously, if he got sick later and missed a lot more school, obviously, if we got sent to truancy, we would have ample proof of why he was out. And some of those days had doctor's notes. Most of those days did, actually, except for like 2, I think. But still, it just makes you nervous, and we would obviously have specialists write notes, and we would have so much proof, but still, I just don't want to deal with it. So anyway, what do, you know? And also I'm nervous because we haven't even hit the dead of winter. I mean, today it's 60 degrees outside, you know, so I'm just worried. And that's what we do as mothers. That's how it is. He's happy. He's doing a lot better. He doesn't want to go to school now, like ever. Once I force him on the bus and get him to go, he's okay once he gets there. So I'm nervous about that because I don't know if it's just because he feels really cruddy, or if now he's got in this habit of not going and he don't want to go anymore. And so I hated that. I've always took a lot of pride in the fact that Connor loves school, and it's so easy, and he's excited to go, and he gets mad at me on breaks, and he gets mad at me. He's trying to get this granola bar. You got it? Like, I won't let him take it to the living room with him because he's so messy. Anyway, so now to have a child that I'm forcing on the bus every morning, it's exhausting, y'all. It is absolutely exhausting. Anyway, so a little about that. And other than that, we're just really watching him close. I'm checking him periodically for temp because that's how we have always spotted pneumonia in the past, is a temp, and so I'm watching him close for that, and obviously watching his breathing really close, and any other things that might happen, yeah, so that's what's going on. It's been crazy. I'm kind of scattered. I'm kind of all over the place lately. And a lot of that is because I'm just really worried about him, and I'm just really nervous. And even though I feel we're going to kick this, I feel we're going to be fine, I'm extremely nervous about the fact that it's not the dead of winter yet, and we have a long way to go to make it through winter. And If you're just coming in and you're like, what is the dealio here? Connor is off his lung meds. We took him off this summer because he was doing so well, and this is his first winter without him. So, yeah, and a cold turned serious super fast with him in the past. It has, and that's been when he's been on lung meds. He's never been a winter without lung meds. Even in Hong Kong, he was on these meds. So this is a first. A lot of times children with Down syndrome outgrow a lot. Obviously, they're all individuals and everyone's different, but a lot of times they outgrow a lot of the respiratory stuff when they get older. But Connor also has scarring in his left lung, and so because of that, he is more susceptible also to pneumonia. So we have that going on, and that'll be monitored and watched for the rest of his life. I mean, that it's scarring. That won't go away. So anyway, but still, he could outgrow a lot of this other respiratory stuff, and he has come a long way. He doesn't get sick or doesn't get colds as easily as he once did. Once he had his tonsils and adenoids taken out, that helped tremendously. I mean, he was sick all the time. And this is kind of his first really big sickness since then. And it's definitely his first sickness since the lung meds. And so anyway, we're not on a preventative. What the lung meds did, they were a preventative to keep his lungs clear and everything out of them. So we're not taking the preventative anymore, and now he is sick, so, I mean, it's too late to just start the preventative now. What we do now is we start breathing treatments of albuterol, and right now we're doing them every 4 hours. We had been told to discontinue them, and just do them as needed. So, like, if he's coughing or wheezy or anything like that, we would do it. And when we went back to the doctor and he heard his lungs sounding that way when it was trying to pass air, he's put us back on every 4 hours. And I'm supposed to do that for like 2 or 3 days, and then I'm supposed to go to like every 6 hours and then every 8 hours. So probably for like the next week and a half, I guess, he will be doing breathing treatments, not just as needed, but around the clock. So that's kind of disheartening, but it is what it is. And we always have albuterol. Albuterol is our PRN med, which means as needed. And so we'll always have it, but we normally are not having to use it until he's sick. And it's also can be used for asthma attacks. We've never known Connor to have an asthma attack, but they think that might have been what happened Friday night when I took him to the ER. I was convinced it was pneumonia. He was breathing super crazy, and I'm like, let's just go, because that's what it is. We didn't go to the pediatrician. We went straight to Children's, because that is where they will send him if it had been pneumonia. And of course, he fell asleep on the way up there, because it's in Knoxville, so it's like an hour drive. He fell asleep on the way up there, and of course, when we got there, his breathing was fine, which means it wouldn't have been pneumonia. So, but they did a chest x-ray just to make sure it wasn't starting to develop or anything was starting to brew in there, as the doctor said it. And I was really appreciative of that she did that. And everything was fine. So we think that was probably an asthma attack. And that's the first one he's had. So now I kind of know that also. So you don't know until you know. So now I've experienced it and I know. Anyway, that's what's going on. No more doctor's appointments for a while, I hope. And I hope we're going to kick this. He's in much better spirits. He's happier more. He's still whiny some. He's still, I can tell he's not himself. He's not 100%, but he's doing okay. Today, I had to go out. I had to give him a breathing treatment while he was at school. And his class was outside because it was so nice today. It was so warm. And his class was outside, so I just went out there to give it to him. We actually do his breathing treatment. It's an inhaler. And so I had the chamber and the inhaler and all that stuff. And so I went out there to give it to him. And I found him. There was kids everywhere outside. There was a lot more classes than just his out there. And I just found him just sitting there, just watching some kids swing. And he was just by himself, just sitting there. And things like that let me know that he does not feel good yet. And so it kind of made me sad. But again, you can't just keep missing school, and it's hard to tell if he just doesn't want to go to school or if he doesn't feel good. So, and he smiled and he waved and he let me give him the breathing treatment. And when I left, he was still sitting there, and I'm like, don't you want to go play? And he was just content to watch the others play. So, whatever makes him happy, right? But it made me really sad. But anyway, so I just wanted to give you that quick update and tell you that's what's going on. Tomorrow's Friday. We're so excited for the weekend. Next week's a short week because we're fixing to be on Thanksgiving break. And we're really excited, and I hope he can get better and kick this so we can spend time with family and just have some fun and celebrate the holiday. So anyway, I will keep y'all up to date as usual, and thank you guys for praying for him and reaching out and asking about him. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome.